So I know we've covered a lot of material so far in this course. So let's see, let's talk a little bit about and review some key points here in some learning scenarios to see how well and how you can apply this new knowledge you have obtained. So let's think about this. So what are some of the things that, as you start to consider everything you've put in here, in your day-to-day job here in our Jeffco preschools, what are some things that potentially could expose you to a risk for infection with bloodborne pathogens? Some things you may think of. Let's think of a little kid getting a tooth knocked out, or someone picks a little cut that they have. One of the little guys, they pick a scab, and that starts bleeding there. So those are just some of the ways that you might come across this. And so what, another one is biting, of course, but what are some ways that you can go ahead and protect yourself? So what you'd want to think about is if you know that there's blood and there's potential for that, you want to go ahead and wear gloves, and of course hand washing. So after you have done something with an exposure, wearing gloves, then you're going to take off those gloves and wash your hands. And then you want to make sure that you're using bleach or other approved disinfecting solutions. And then depending on the scenario, you'll maybe want to see if you need some personal protective equipment to use to do any further care. So let's talk about a learning scenario here. You're cleaning up the preschool classroom and you notice that a stack of books has been left out on one of the tables. As you're putting them away, you notice there's small spots of blood on the books. You remember putting a Band-Aid earlier on a child who said she cut herself and she was near that book. So what should you do? So this is a kind of a tricky one because books tend to be porous and not usually cleanable. If that is the case, the book should be disposed of. If it is potentially cleanable, you're going to follow your program's procedure for standard precautions, and this should include the use of non-porous gloves, cleaning and disinfecting the book surface, or any surface that has been infected with the blood, and then properly disposing of the cleaning supplies, then remove the gloves, and then after you remove the gloves, you're going to wash your hands. So just be aware that those are the steps that you're going to take if you come across something like that, some blood in your classroom as you're cleaning up. Here's another scenario. You're caring for a child with a bloody nose, and then he goes ahead and sneezes in your face, and you're like, oh shoot, I think maybe I got some of his blood in my eye. What steps do you take? So immediately wash and flush, irrigate your eyes with the clean water saline. Remember, we're going to do it for 15 minutes. You're going to make sure there's no one else around that could be exposed to it. And then you're going to pull in your director, and your director will get in touch with your nurse, and then we're going to document the incident, and your director and nurse will work with you on the next steps if it's a possible exposure. Okay, so we've covered a lot here. So what we still have to do in this course is we're going to have you upload your exposure control plan based on what your director has worked out with you. So you're going to upload that into Schoology here. You can use a Word document or any kind of file or PDF saved on your computer. Upload that here so you are demonstrating that you are aware and understand that you have reviewed the exposure control plan for your program, and that will kind of reinforce that. It'll show you have a good sense of how your child care program handles standard precautions and where the personal protective equipment is located on site. So you'll be using this the next step. This video is going to end, and then the next slide you go to, we'll talk about your exposure plan and the need for you to upload that here. And then finally, we're going to have you take a test. So you'll take a test that you'll go on through here on Schoology, and then when you're done, you've uploaded the plan and taken the test, then you will receive your certification. Now keep in mind, as you take the test, you can contact Jennifer Haar at any time. 720-560-5732 is my cell phone, and you can text me as well. This test will only be available during the school day on specified dates that your director will share with you. During this time, you can text me if you have questions on the test or any of the content we've covered. You may also email me at jhar@jeffco. That's J as in jump, H as in horse, A as in apple, R as in rhinoceros, R as in rhinoceros, during any of this class or during the test. And once again, this test will only be available to you during the specified times so that you can reach me right away and you don't have to leave a message, and I can get back to you and answer any questions you have. So I hope you found this all very helpful, and I look forward to seeing your exposure plans uploaded and your completion of your tests. And then when that's all done, you will go ahead and receive your standard precautions training certificate. Thanks so much, and be safe out there, and thank you for all the great care you take of our kiddos.